In this video, I'm going to share with you 20 Canva tips, tricks, and hacks that you can apply today to become a better designer using Canva and make your workflow a whole lot smoother. So, if that interests you, be sure to hit that subscribe button below and turn on notifications too so that you'll be the first to know when new videos are posted up here on this channel. With that said, I want to share with you 20 tips, tricks, and hacks that I wish I knew when I started using Canva. Now, tip number 1. I want to share with you is when you're working with multiple layers. Sometimes you will come across layers that are quite close together. I want to select the middle layer, but sometimes that can be challenging. So what you do if you're using Mac, hold the Command key, but if you're using Windows, hold the Control key. Holding down my Command key, now I'll click on my mouse button. That will then select the next layer behind it. If I click again, that'll select the layer behind that. And now, as you can see, that layer is selected. I can do whatever I want to it, like changing colors, just like that. The next tip I want to share with you is adding a shadow effect. It's as simple as selecting the text, going to Effects, and choosing Shadow. And there you have the shadow. Now you can make finer adjustments, such as the color of the shadow. So let's say white. You can change the direction and the angle of your shadow. You can also change the transparency of it. The next tip is quite fundamental and will be handy no matter what you are designing on Canva. And that is moving certain elements. To really fine-tune the elements on your design, all you need to do is just use your arrows on your keyboard. I'm simply pressing up and down, or you can hold the key left and right. Now, that's going to only move at 1 pixel at a time. You can hold the Shift key on your keyboard and move it so that it moves 10 pixels at a time, like so. Next up, I want to show you how to add a gradient to the background of any image. So simply go to Elements, search for Gradient. What you want to look for is the square. So I'm going to select that. That's going to apply it to your design. I'm just going to drag it so that it starts from the corner there and then drag it from the corner. From here, you can change the colors by looking at the top left, changing the first color. I'll just change it to any color and the secondary color. And as you can see now, we've got the gradient effect. You can also make the gradient start the other way. So click on flip horizontally. Now this is vertical. If you want it going horizontally, just use the rotate feature and like so. Next up, I want to show you a really simple way to add text. Instead of going to text and then choosing from there, you simply hit the T button on your keyboard. And from there, you can change the sizes and do whatever you want to it. Next up, if you use specific colors on a regular basis, it's wise to use their brand kit so that you can refer back to it, like mine right here. I've got some colors that you can see here. That's my color palette based on my branding. All you need to do if you are on the design, you can click on Add another palette, or from the home page, click on Brand Kit. From here, click on Add new palette, select all the colors that you want. Once it's added, give it a name. To start using your brand colors, simply select an element, let's say this text, then go into the color, and now you can see the color palette added. Now I can select whatever colors I want based on those colors. For the next tip, what I want to share with you is instead of uploading your files to your uploads and clicking upload an image or video, all you really need to do is open your folder. I've got mine here, drag and drop it, and that's pretty much it. This is a more intuitive method of doing it and will save you a heap of time. For this next tip, I want to show you how to duplicate or clone certain or specific elements. Let's take this heart element as an example. Select it, and we can simply go and duplicate it and drag it wherever we want. Now there is a shortcut for this. All you need to do on your keyboard for Mac users, Command D, or Windows, Control D, and just like that, I have duplicated that element. An even faster method is to hold the Option key on your Mac or Alt key, I think, on the Windows, and then using your mouse, you just drag, and that will clone it. The next tip is zooming in and zooming out. Sometimes, the elements and the canvas look quite small on screen, so what you want to do is use the zoom feature. You can either use it from here by selecting the percentage, or you can use the Command key on the Mac or Control on the Windows system, and then plus-minusing on your keyboard, like so. My favorite way to do it is holding the Command key and scrolling up and down using my mouse. Next tip is grouping texts or elements. Let's say I want to group these two elements right here. All I need to do really is just select the first element holding the Shift key on my keyboard, then selecting the second element. And let's say this icon here or this element, clicking again, and now that's all grouped together. And now what I want to do is click on the group option, and now that's grouped together. So now when I move this anywhere, it is all grouped together and won't lose its position. To ungroup it, simply select any of those elements and click on Ungroup, and you're done. Alright, the next tip is cropping because Canva doesn't have an eraser tool. We need to be able to use the cropping feature. So click on the element you want to crop, click on Crop once you've selected it, and from here, we can now use these drag options to crop it where we want. So let's say halfway here, click on Done, and now it's cropped. The next tip I want to share with you is filtering by color. So all you need to do is search for whatever element you want first, so I'll search for rose here. And from the filters, I'll then select the color that I want. So let's say I only want red rose. I'll select the red color, apply filters, and as you can see, these are all the elements I can use based on red rose. Next up is hyperlinking certain text so that if you are saving it as a PDF, for example, you want your viewer or customer to be able to click on a specific text, then this may be handy. So let's zoom into this particular text here, and let's say we want this line of text to be hyperlinked. I'll just select it and click on the link icon. I'll then enter my URL, click on Apply, and now this is linked. And if we click on the hyperlink, we're then taken to our link. Next up, I want to teach you how to use templates. This is especially useful if you have some social media templates that you usually use. Let's say you create quotes and you stick to one design or a couple of designs. This is how you are going to save some time. Let's say this is my finished template. All I need to do is just save it here, scroll down, click on More option, add the template to a specific folder. So let's say your work area, click on Select Folder, publish the template, and now it's added to your templates. To use your template for next time, you can find the folder here or go to all your folders, and you'll find your folder there. Select the template, click on it, and either choose Use this template or Edit Original. Obviously, you just want to use this template, not edit the original. Click on Use this template, and now it's loaded from the template, and you can freely edit it without affecting the original template. Moving on to the next step, what I want to share with you is perfect alignment. How do you align text and all sorts of elements so that it is perfectly aligned? Let me first share with you the first way. Now if you want to center the text, it's hard to know where the center is. Let me share with you the first way with this text here. Let's say we want that dead set in the middle. All we need to do is just go to Position, click on Middle, then to the center, and there you have it. That's right in the middle. The second way to perfectly align elements and text is to go to File, turn on Show Rulers. From the ruler, you want to just drag using your mouse, set where you want your text or elements to start, and then start dragging your element, and you can see that it's lined right there. I'll also align the other heading. To remove the guide, all you need to do is just use your mouse again and drag it away. Next up, what I want to show you is how to create that highlight or stroke effect around yourself, and you may have seen this in many YouTube thumbnails. Here's how to do it. Select your image, and we're going to make a copy, and we're going to work on the back layer here, choosing Effects. Make sure you select Duotone and choose any of the effects since we are going to change the color anyway. Select again for the highlight, just select white. For the shadows, select white as well. And we are going to change the background first so obviously, it stands out. Choosing my color here. Next up, with your main image, you want to put it over, and from here, we're going to resize it just a tad, and we can get away with that. But if you want, you can also move it with your arrows, and now you've got the highlight effect that now you can use on your thumbnails. The next tip I want to share with you is Canva frames. So if we search for frames, selecting one of the frames, let's say this screen here. I'm going to resize this a bit. You'll see a placeholder image. This means that if you upload or drag any image here, you'd only show the photo based on the frame. So, for example, let's go to Uploads and choosing one of these images here. Let's say this one here. I'll just drag it, and as you can see, it's automatically cropped the image to fit the frame. To select a different part of that photo, simply double tap or double click and then move across. Next up, you have number of headings. You want to change color quickly, without selecting one by one, so click on the first heading or text element you want to change the color of. Hold down the Shift key and click on the additional headings or text elements you want to select. This allows you to select multiple items. Once the headings or text elements are selected, look for the color options in the toolbar. Click on the color swatch or use the color picker to choose the new color for the selected text. After selecting the new color, the text elements should automatically update to the chosen color. Next up, if want to slide non-animated element, so just select element and click on animate and drag an element around the canvas to create your animation. Next up, if you learned a thing or two, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. Make sure to turn on notifications too, so that you don't miss out on any tips, tools, and training I post up here on this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.